Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you everything Pokemon, and today we're going to be looking at a bit of a roguish deck on the fringes right now in the Phantom Forces standard format, and that is Ninetales, paired with Munna to get status on the board. Basically, what we're trying to do is use Hex Flame, which does 20 plus 50 more for each special condition affecting the defending Pokemon, to do a whole lot of damage for just one fire energy. The reason why I feel like Ninetales is kind of an interesting play right now is because it has the Bright Look ability, such a strong ability. When you evolve into Ninetales, you get to switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with his or her active. So basically it's a catcher. And this is very good right now for stuff like Gengar EX and Donphan that like to hide on the bench. And Ninetales has also got great typing for Virizion Genesect and Metals, which has started to crop up here and there. So I feel like Ninetales has good coverage around the board for a fairly roguish deck. So there's the card. 90 HP is kind of low. Stage 1, not too bad. The ability and the attack, both very strong. And I'll show you now how we're going to get Hex Flame to potentially get to knockouts for 1 energy. Continuing the Pokemon, we'll move on to Munna here. 60 HP basic Psychic type. You're thinking, why are we playing this card? Well, basically it's the ability again. Long distance hypnosis. Before you attack, you may flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active is now asleep. So that's one way we can get sleep on our opponent. But if tails, our active is asleep. So this is absolutely horrible. We of course don't want to miss turns by sending ourselves to sleep. So we play 2 Keldeo EXs for rush in retreat. So if we are able to, if we do flip tails with a Munna, we can rush in retreat and it doesn't affect us at all, other than they are not affected by sleep. Seeing as though we have 2 Munna as well, it's stackable, so we can flip 2 coins if we have both Munnas on the bench. To finish off the Pokemon, we're just playing 1 Mime, because we've got some low HP stuff in the deck, and we don't want to get done by Landorus's and stuff like that. And the Ninetales line, of course, is a 4-4, because it's our only attacker in the deck, really. On to trainers and stuff, it's really wacky. I'm going to have to explain it a little bit, but the deck is by no means normal, so you just have to accept the fact that it's going to be a strange list. And basically what it gains a lot from in Phantom Forces is VS Seeker, an amazing card that almost everyone's playing at least one of in their deck right now, because it gets to pick up stuff from the discard pile, supporters that is, for when you need them. And we also get Lysander's Trump card. We're playing one of these. It means that we can recycle 4 lasers back into our deck. And Hypnotoxic Laser is definitely the focal point of the deck. It's a great way that we can get automatic poison and on a coin flip sleep as well. So Ninetales is doing 70 when poison's put on, and we do play Verbank City Gym, so that makes 100. And if we flip heads on the sleep flip from either the laser or any of our Munnas, we do 150 with Ninetales' attack, and we play Muscle Bands and Silver Bangles in here to hit 170 or 180. So Lysander's Trump card recovers 4 lasers. It also recovers our Ninetales lines midway through the game once a few of them have gone down. So he's a very important card in the deck. Another really great one is Shadow Triad. Like I say, it's all about the lasers. So we VS Seeker for a Triad, get back a laser, and you're ready to attack again. The other supporters we're playing is 1 Chorus, because we like to fill up our bench as much as we can. Normally we're playing... we'll have 1 Ninetales in the active, 1 or 2 Keldeos, 1 or 2 Munnas, and 1 or 2 Vulpixes, or maybe a Ninetales or 2 on the bench. The one thing you don't want to do is evolve into your Ninetales immediately. You just want to hold it into the hand until you can get that catcher effect off, which is pretty cool. The other supporters we're playing is just 2 Skylers, because it means we can fish for things like lasers that are in the deck, and Startling Megaphone, which can get rid of Garbodor, because as you can see our deck is very ability focused right now. But I don't want to play too many, because we want to run through our list, our deck as quickly as possible. So that's why we're playing the 3 bikes up here. That I'll get to those in a minute. The other supporters, we're just playing 2N and 4 Lysander. Not Lysander, sorry, Sycamore. Sycamore's obviously the one we're going to want to draw into it a lot, and then we can just spam it with VS Seeker as soon as we get it, hit it really. So it just means we draw a lot of cards. The deck does need a little bit of setup. It's kind of awkward. You need a couple of things all at once to get those one-shots, but there's nothing wrong with not getting a one shot and going for two shots with this combination of VS Seeker and Triad and Trump card, it means we have plenty of lasers throughout the game. That was one real weakness of the deck before Phantom Forces. You're pretty much limited to when you can attack based on the flips you had with lasers and Moonas. Here you can be a bit more aggressive with your lasers, go for big damage, and then rely on these VS Seekers and these other supporters that we only play one of to keep returning the lasers back into the deck or into the hand to use again that turn. So then, to increase our damage to the 170 or 180, we're playing 2 Muscle Bands and 2 Silver Bangle. It's just a split down the middle because both have their benefits in each different respective matchup, I guess. You want to have the Muscle Bands for stuff like Donphan when you're not even playing EXs, but when you are playing decks like Virgen, you want to have the Bangle for the extra 10 damage, especially because Virizion prevents status. So you need Hexflame to do 50 to do 100 with weakness without any status on Virizions, for example. But there's more ways of getting around Virgen, and I'll get to that in a minute. Mainly, you just try and bright look stuff on the bench that doesn't have grass energy attached to it to get the laser on them and stuff like that. And it means they have to continually keep benching Virizions and attaching to them to keep them safe. So it's quite an interesting matchup seeing the Virgen, this deck against Virgen. So in terms of other tools and stuff that I've not talked about, we're playing 3 Floatstone just for the Keldios mainly, and we're also playing 1 Switch to get us out if we are under what's it called, Ability Lock. We also are playing 1 Professor's Letter to help search out our fire energies, of which we play 7. A low count, like I say, we only ever need to attach it to Ninetales. You could even go down to 6 when you have the Trump card, but at the moment I'm finding 7 good enough to find them early enough in the game. We're playing 3 Verbank City Gym. Pretty important to play this card because it racks up poison damage, which we are spamming as much as possible. And having 3 just means we're probably going to be winning at the Stadium or against most decks, unless they're a Dimension Valley build of some sort that normally plays 4. The only other things I've not talked about really is the Bike. It's a good pseudo supporter and we run our hand down really thin. And finally, it's the 4 Ultra Ball, just searches out our entire deck. It's kind of difficult to visualize this deck all at once, so I guess the best way to show you is giving you a game with Ninetales. So here we go, we'll go into a random battle here and see what we can get. What's the deck called? Ninetales, where are you? There you go. I've only just started picking up this deck and looking into it a bit more, so it's going to be interesting. And we're playing Thur with 2 U's. We're going to flip a coin and it's tails, so our opponent gets to choose. And I saw Metal, Grass and Psychic in his typing when the battle came on, so we'll see what he's playing. We start with a Keldeo, not fantastic, but at least we have a supporter. And he's playing Virizion Genesect. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. One thing you really don't want to do in this matchup is put down a Keldeo, but I guess we can't help that, because of course it can be OKO'd with just a Megalo Cannon. So our opponent starts off, attaches a Muscle Band and a Grass Energy to his Virizion. Pretty standard turn 1 for a Virgen player. Turn 1, we're just going to go for the Sycamore straight away. It's a very aggressive move. You really want to be bold with this deck. You want to get as much on the field as possible because there is quite a bit of setup to it. So I'm going to throw down a Moona straight away and get an energy onto Vulpix. We're also going to put a Floatstone onto Keldeo. And I think I'm happy to leave it to my opponent. We could have done a flip for Moona, but because Virizion has an energy on it, there's no point in going for that flip right now. Our opponent goes for the Skylar and finds a Professor's Letter to grab some energy. So Keldeo EX is going to get a big thump in the face this turn, it looks like. 140 damage. One good thing about Keldeo EX is he can sponge to keep Vulpix's and Moona's healthy in the early game, I should say. Here we're able to find an Ultra Ball. I mean, we already had it, but we're going to use it. And I'm going to grab Ninetales. I'm going to evolve and actually stick to the Virizion, because like I say, Virizion is definitely the thing you want to target in this matchup. I'm going to end here and hope to find a tool of some sort that's not Floatstone. We're able to find Vulpix and a Fire Energy. I'm also going to throw a Floatstone onto Munna and hope to draw a power-up card like this Silver Bangle, which we do very nicely. So we can actually do 100 damage to this Virizion EX and really threaten him. And it also shows that we have the Ninetales for next turn, which is great. If he wants to come in with Genesect and one-shot us, we can just Bright Look back up the Virizion EX. So our opponent's going to throw down another Virizion and another Genesect. He also opts to Ultra Ball away a Balloon to find another Genesect, and he also benches that down, so he's not really doing what he should be doing in a matchup like this. You don't want to expose things on the bench without Grass Energies like he has done, because it will allow us to get an OKO on stuff. Our opponent's going to use a Plasma Energy to bring up a Vulpix, so that Virizion EX is going to actually get a knockout here. And he's also going to be able to get some energy onto a Genesect EX. So we're just going to go into Ninetales again and play the N. We are able to find a couple of good things here. I do need a Mr. Mime for Genesect's sniping on Keldeo, so we'll shove him down. I would also very much like to get a Vulpix down this turn, but that being said, we also want to have a supporter for next turn. I feel like all of these are quite important right now. I'm going to actually get rid of a Laser and a Fire Energy and grab ourselves a Vulpix for next turn. We're going to throw that down to the bench and get a knockout and go up one prize here. One great thing about Ninetales, one of these non-EXs only costing one prize if he is able to be knocked out. Our opponent sends up a Genesect now. Throws down another Virizion, so he's giving us a lot of opportunities here to Bright Look and knock out things, which is good. Good for us. Not great for on his part, to be honest. He's going to Chorus Mech as well. Get a knockout and do nothing to that Keldeo because we do have our Mime in play. Now we're going to draw. We're able to find a Sycamore, which is fantastic. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, getting rid of a Verbank and a VS Seeker. Find ourselves a Ninetales. And we're going to Bright Look one of these Virizions in the hope that we can find a Laser off of this Sycamore. We are indeed able to find a Laser and a Vulpix, so this is great. We're going to Laser here. Get Tails. So we're doing 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 with the Muscle Band that we've also found. And we can just retreat and get a knock up and go up another 2 prizes, which is amazing. And get some good stuff off the prizes as well. That VS Seeker's nice. It means we can find a Skylar next turn for another Laser. But we also will be looking for another Ninetales as well. So we've played pretty fast and loose with the deck. It's done quite well so far. Our opponent's going to attach a Plasma and opt not to catch her. That's very interesting. I personally would have gone for the Vulpix like he did last time, because it would have meant that I couldn't catch her up and do the same thing I did last turn. But he's opted not to do that. Very interesting play there by our opponent. I'm going to attach an energy to Vulpix, and we do have a laser, so I could VS Seek for the Skyla for the Ultra Ball. I think that's the route I want to go. Guarantee that we can get ourselves a Ninetales here. Skyla for the Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball away some less useful stuff. Grabbing one of our 2 Ninetales left in the deck. And we're going to capture up this Virizion here and go for the victory with a Hypnotoxic Laser. We're going to need a heads off this or the Munna. We get tails on one, and we go for the Hypnosis, and we get heads. Amazing. So we can just simply retreat. Our opponent says good game, and it was indeed. We're able to get a knockout with Ninetales and actually win against Virizion Genesect. So there it is, guys. Ninetales. Could it be a playable deck in the future? Definitely something that's under the radar right now. I don't see anyone talking about it or playing it at all, really. But so far I've been having pretty good results with this deck, so I urge you to at least give it a second look and try it out yourself. It's a whole lot of fun, even if you don't get a whole lot of wins with it. And the list I've shown right now is probably the most consistent way I can think of playing it, and as you saw, it can get results. Although flippy, it can do some good stuff. So there it is, guys. My Ninetales deck shown to you, with also a victory as well. Amazing. So I've been Joe from OmniPoke, and I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. And also stay tuned for the next 1 or 2 days. I will be giving you a report from Manchester Regionals, where I played Virizion Genesect, the list that I showed about a week ago, with 1 or 2 cards tweaked to that. So stay tuned for that, and all other videos soon to come. See you next time. Bye.